Hello guys, Steve here, BS Slot Cars. Today we're going to talk about the Scalextric Sport track that I just got. We ran a few races on it. We're going to tell you how it is and compare it to other tracks, the pros, cons, everything about it. So stick with me if you want to learn about these tracks. So let's get to it. Here it is, the Scalextric Sport track. We set it up in a road course. We did a few races with the larger cars and it worked all right. I just want to tell you before anything that the track is flexible, so it's quieter to run on because it absorbs the sound than the normal plastic Carrera or the Policar type. That's the only thing I like about it, is it's quiet. Other than that, I don't like nothing about it compared to like Carrera or the Policar. And here's why. First off, when you run the cars, the magnets have much more downforce because these rails are steel, and on Policar and Carrera they're stainless mix, so it's not as much metal, so it don't stick down as hard. I notice when you run the cars, they get so hot after a race or a heat, they actually smell like kind of like the coating on the windings is burning. I don't like that about it. It's too stuck down. Also, I had rail already get loose, and when I turned it over, the tabs that they hold it on are so, like, because this is regular steel, it bends real easy and it don't hold tight. It stretches out and they get loose. I had that happen to one. It's not like the material in Carrera or Policar is harder, so when they bend it, it's hard to bend back the little tab. This bends very easy. Another thing, when you run different scale cars, like the HOs, how we run them with the braids, or even the Carrera Go cars, how they have the braids coming out, because the track is so close together here to slot, you get, sometimes you'll be running, you'll get shorts and the power base will shut down, or the app, from both of them scales. So I really don't like it for that. So if you're going to run one scale like the 1/32, it's alright, but like I said, it overheats the cars. And another thing it does is really shreds the braids up quick compared to like the Carrera and the Poly track. I don't believe how much they're getting shredded up. Let me think here, guys, because this is complicated. Anyhow, we raced a few races, like I said, and I learned a lot about it. And the only thing I think that's nice on it is it absorbs the sound because it's flexible, but I don't like flexible track because it's all wavy. You could see over here where they injection mold it through these pin ports. There's lumps all over. If you put your hand down the track and feel it, it's wavy. It's not like Policar track is smooth. That's another minus I don't like about it. It's not smooth. What else? I don't recommend, if you're going to run different scales like we do, HO in the Go cars, because it could short out the rails when they slip out and stuff. Because Carrera and Policar track has a plastic spacer in the middle. It kind of has more width so they don't hit easy, the braids, when they spin out. What else? Another thing is this Arc Air with the app, and even with the Magic app, you see this sensor here for the lap counter works with the cars with the wide, like normal 1/32 flag, or the SEX compact cars that have that wide normal looking flag guide. We were gonna race the Go cars. We started a race. They don't count laps half the time, and forget about HO cars because it's so thin, the pin, they don't even count laps like crazy. So this don't count laps good with the HO or the Go cars. You need the long flag and it counts perfect with the regular cars. Another thing I don't like about it, shallow depth of the slot. You could only run you could only run Scalextric cars with the shallow guides. All Carreras and stuff hit. You have to sand them down. Even the HO cars we make with the long pins, we had to cut them shorter, the straws. So I don't like that about it. The only thing I like about it is it don't make a lot of sound. And this is fun when you come in the pit stops and stuff, but it only works for the big scales. And I say the Policar I have here is 100 million times better if you're looking for a layout to put up that you don't want to worry about. Even these get all tarnished and stuff. I see it already starting to get discolored. These don't tarnish. They got stainless steel. It's smoother. And you could run all different scales, 1/24th, HO, the 143 like us. You don't have to worry about it shorting out. You don't have to worry about when you drive the cars on the Scalextric sport track, the magnet gets so strong it makes the cars feel unresponsive and dead feeling. And on Carrera and the Policar, they feel more responsive and better to drive. They just feel better drivability. I don't know. They feel sluggish on this sport track. But I do like the app thing, even though it don't work and I have to use the Magic Arc app. It's fun to go in for a pit stop and get fuel and stuff like that in the rain and stuff like that. So we'll set this up once in a while to do races like that. But if you're planning on making a track and you're going to put it on a table, I would suggest Carrera or the Policar track. The only other thing I like about this, which I forgot to mention, is ease of taking it apart. You could take this apart, put it up real quick on the floor and take it down. If that's what you want to do, I recommend the sport track for that. Whereas Carrera and Policar track, it's harder to put together and take apart. It's more like it's better to put it on a table, put it together right and leave it. Whereas this stuff, you press 2 buttons on the sides of the track underneath and it pulls right apart and goes back in. So if you want something to take up and down just to play around with or play with the kids on the floor, the Scalextric sport track's good for that also. And it is a lot better, don't get me wrong. I had the original Scalextric. That stuff was way worse than this new sport stuff. And also the old SEX also. This is like, they made it better with the rails are like flatter in it compared to the old stuff. But if you want a deeper guide, you're going to have to go Carrera, Policar, or the new Scale Auto. And if you want to put a permanent track up, like I said, I would rather have this Policar track than 10 times this amount of track of this sport track. That's how much nicer I like my Policar track. I highly recommend it to anyone looking to build a regular raceway or on a table for club racing. It's much better than this sport track. The sport track to me is something you just take out, play around with it, and put it back in the box, or like we're gonna do. We're gonna have different races where we just set this up and put it up once in a while, do the pit races, and have a few videos like that and switch it up. But nothing beats the Carrera and the Policar track, guys. There's night and day difference. You'll never know unless you have them both. If you have them both, like how I have here, you'll know the difference right away. And everything about it just works better than this sport track. The sport track to me is, like I said, something you take up and put down. I'm trying to think of anything else I missed here. That's about it, guys. I know I probably missed other things, but you'll have to kill me to get my Policar track, but you could kind of take that sport. That's how I feel about it. Overheats the cars, too much magnet downforce. You can't run different scales on it. The lanes short out from the braids on the Go cars or the HOs when you spin out. The rails get tarnished. The track ain't as smooth. You can see here, there's lip sticking up. And it's all warped from the way they mold it. It has lumps in it like here. all over. It's not like Carrera or the hard stuff like this. It's much better. I think I got everything, guys. I hope I got everything. Hope you enjoyed this. I tried. I don't know, I probably repeated stuff, but I tried to tell you guys what I found and stuff about the sport track and the other plastic tracks I mentioned. I hope this helps anyone out looking to make a track. If you have a little bit more room, I say go with the Policar track. It's worth its weight in gold, and it's not that much different. It's a little bit wider, but you could run 1/24 in all the scales. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about any track system, let me know and I'll try to answer them. Later, guys. BS Slot Cars out.